Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, my friends, team members, and participants. I welcome you all to this webinar.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I welcome you all to this webinar Innovation Nurturing the Habit of Entrepreneurship Among Youth. So, entrepreneurs have been setting up business in India since Kingdom came. Entrepreneurship is vital for job creation, economic growth, and problem solving. It also reflects a society capacity for boldness, risk taking, creativity. According to Global Entrepreneurship Development Institute, there is a strong positive association between entrepreneurship, economic growth, and innovation. Our guest of the event is young entrepreneur Mr. Prithvi Singh Chauhan, who started business at very young age and became successful entrepreneur in India. So now I invite Anshita to give introduction about our chief guest of the event. Anshita,
Thank you, ma'am. A very
yes.
good afternoon to one and all present here. Myself, Anshita Sharma, student of BSc Medicine, final year. It is my immense pleasure to introduce our speaker, Mr. Prithvi Singh Chauhan, a man of virtue and simplicity who set a startling example for youngsters. He started working at the age of 9 and ran his first company at the age of 14. He has been awarded as youngest Indian CEO at the age of 18. Apart from his brilliant work, he runs an NGO to help rural students and housewives in Rajasthan and also works with the government of Rajasthan, Haryana, and Punjab. He built and sold three companies before retiring at the age of 24. He had interacted with students over 200 colleges, and after achieving such a great experience of life, he is currently pursuing law. Now, I request Mr. Prithvi Singh Chauhan to grace the event by sharing his experience and motivate us with his words.
Yes, all of you, please wait for 2 3 minutes. Wait for our guest.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Hello.
हाँ जी मैम.
सॉरी फॉर इनकन्वीनियंस, थोड़ा सा मीटिंग फुल हो गई है तो हमारे गेस्ट ऑन ऐड नहीं हो पा रहे हैं. जस्ट हैव पेशेंस, वेट फॉर 5 minutes. Anshita,
Yes, ma'am.
our chief guest is here or not? Mr. Prithvi Singh,
Yes, ma'am. He is here.
invite him to start the lecture.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. Myself, Anshita Sharma, student of BSc Medical final year. It is my immense pleasure to introduce our speaker, Mr. Prithvi Singh Chauhan, a man of virtue and simplicity who set a startling example for youngsters. He started working at the age of 9 and ran his first company at the age of 14. He has been awarded as youngest Indian CEO at the age of 18. Apart from his brilliant work, he runs an NGO to help rural students and housewives in Rajasthan and also worked with the government of Rajasthan, Haryana, and Punjab. He built and sold 3 companies before retiring at the age of 24. He had interacted with students over 200 colleges, and after achieving such a great experience of life, he is currently pursuing law. Now, I request Mr. Prithvi Singh Chauhan to grace the event by sharing his experience and motivate us with his words. Welcome, sir.
Hi everyone. Am I audible and am I visible? If anyone can just type in the text, type in the chat so that maybe I can begin with that.
Yes, sir.
Good to go? Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for turning up in such huge numbers. Like it wasn't letting me in. I had to request almost 3 times that please let me into the meeting because I think that was important for me to be in here. So I really hope all of you are having a great time in this pandemic.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, hi.
हाँ जी sir, can you keep your camera on?
My camera is on.
We are not able to see you.
I'm sorry. I mean, at my screen it says my camera is on.
Okay. It's okay,
Anyone?
sir.
Anyone else? If you can. Okay, ma'am. Students can see. I just got.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. You can start.
Okay, so
Sorry for inconvenience.
no, that's perfectly fine. I know the virtual platforms could be hectic at times. Like I've been following it. I've been just working on them. So, how is the pandemic going for you guys? If I can maybe have couple of at least answers. And I think I have interacted with most of the people who are here in this meeting. So it'll be really great that if we could have this a little bit more interactive, where I can actually expect a few people to actually open up and speak up, because me just speaking won't really make any sense, because you can just simply go on YouTube and you can literally watch hundreds of videos made by so many people there. So I would really want this meeting to be interactive, maybe some of you opening up, some of you sharing your experiences, some of you sharing your ideas, because this is about uh, entrepreneurship. This is about how we can bring a change, how the youth can take over the whole world. And because the we are the generation which is going to take over this. Low productivity, Aman, why is that low productivity? If you can maybe uh, unmute your mic, and if you can share your experiences with all of us. Let's first actually get to know each other, and then I'll start with my experience, and then maybe whatever that I have to add on to that. Can we hear you, Aman, for a minute? Anyone else? Like, you can simply just, I think, unmute your mic and just open up. Just tell however your pandemic has been for you, what has been the downsides of it, what has been the upsides of it, and then maybe taking points from all the experiences that we have had, we will discuss in this meeting.
Yes, all of you, please share your views. You can say, don't write in chat box. You
Yeah,
can
just
interact with the
just unmute yourself and just say it.
unmute yourself.
I'm pretty sure this hasn't been that low productive as well. Pandemic, we did have amazing times. We did have low times as well. Anyone? Or maybe if you're not open to speak up, maybe just you can write in the chat box. But I'll need at least a few responses before I can really start beginning, because I want this session not to be about myself. I want this session to be about all of you guys.
GDP growth is very poor
How is GDP affecting you?
due to low productivity.
Due to your low productivity, GDP is falling. Wow, that's pretty optimistic. Great. Anything else? Construction works cannot begin. Certificate link will okay. It was good. I mean, I'm not asking about labors. I'm not asking about the GDP. I'm asking about your own thing. I'm asking about your personal experiences. Like, how were you affected with it? How did you made use of it, or how were you affected with the whole pandemic that we have been sitting in homes since March of this year? Was it good that you got a lot of time to work on yourself? Was it good that you got time to work out or to learn something new? Or did you just feel lazy all these months and you simply just wasted time? So I really want to
सर
listen.
मेरे लिए गुड था, मैंने काफी कुछ एक्सपीरियंस किया, जैसे मैंने अपने टेक्निकल वर्क पे काफी ज्यादा वर्क किया, प्लस जैसे मैं अपना बिजनेस भी हैंडल कर रहा हूँ, तो बिजनेस में भी मैंने थोड़ा जैसे हाथ को
क्या टेक्निकल वर्क?
कंट्रीब्यूट किया।
प्लीज शेयर कुछ डिटेल बताइए उसके बारे में. I think someone just spoke. Anyone else? I hope my voice is not echoing. Productive use
Sir,
of
your voice is clear.
Okay, great. So yeah, I was just sharing that. Great. So anyone else, if you can just share, like I need at least one or two more people. Yeah, we are 100 people in this meeting, so I at least have to expect 20 people, but I'm having my expectations low, just 5 people. Maybe 2 or 3 more people. Anyone?
सर कौन सी कंपनी की CEO?
So I abhi to मैं एक student हूँ. I retired earlier this year, but before that I started 3 companies. The first one was in software development. Then I started a digital marketing company in 2013, and then I started a digital publication called The Indian Wire, which is a media company, which I sold earlier this year. And now I'm a student of law. I'm studying my LLB because that was the plan that I always had, to retire before 25 and get into a college. So currently, I'm just a student, just like any of you guys. So don't consider me anything different from you guys. I might just be a senior of you, past experiences aside. as of today, I'm just a first year student in LLB. So yeah. Do I have any more comments, or you think we should just begin? Yeah, great work, Ankita. Like reading, I mean, I am sure like a lot of people did get a lot of time to read, because this is something that is amazing to see. Like I have actually started seeing a lot of people of my age and people younger to me who are actually getting interested in reading books, which might not really have been a case like 10 or 15 years ago. But now, because we have a lot of uh, technical things, now we have a lot of gadgets, now we have the internet connectivity, so we don't really need to wait for the physical books, and reading is something that I think all of us should have. uh, so good work with that. Anyone else?
Hello, sir. Sir, am I
Hi,
audible? Am I
Aman.
audible, sir?
Yes, Aman, you are audible. Tell me.
Sir, can you tell me about your YouTube channel?
Oh, how do you know
It's
about my YouTube
Backstage
channel?
of Billionaire.
Oh, do you follow that? Great. So that is something that I really wanted all of you to maybe, I wanted to share with everyone. I run a YouTube channel where we used to interview entrepreneurs. We used to interview people who have started business or who have done anything good in finance, or, who have done anything good in businesses. And this has been live for almost last 2 years. We are a team of three who are working on this. And on that channel, every Sunday I go live and I take questions from our subscribers about entrepreneurship and startups, and I also share my own experiences. So any of you who is interested in reading more about business, or knowing more about business, startups, and entrepreneurship, I'll just share the name of the uh, so I've just shared the name of the channel in the chat box. You should just definitely check that out. And as I said, like every week we do at least 2 to 3 videos on entrepreneurship. We do make a lot of videos on startups, and I do at least a couple of videos every week on that. There are other team members who do videos on that. So this is something which you should check out. So Aman, how do you know about this channel? Have you been following this for a while? Okay, I think we have lost him. Okay, your followers. Thank you. Thank you for that. Anyone else, as I just said? So maybe I'll just begin with that. We have already wasted, or maybe we have spent a bit of time already. So I'll start with my own journey. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with me. I did come to your college last year in December. That was almost, I think, the last week of December. And that was, I think, a camp of NSS where, so I don't know how many of you were there, but if I just start with, so I belong to a very traditional family in Rajasthan. It's a rural village just near Ajmer, which is just around a couple of hours from Jaipur. Pretty sure Jaipur is a big city, so most of you will be familiar with it. So my dad was in army, and I grew up in a very traditional family, a very traditional middle class family, like all of us, most of us are. And while I was just in fourth or fifth standard, that was the first time I got to know about computers. I got to know about internet, and that's when, I mean, it sort of amazed me a lot, the kind of things that you could do with computer. Today, it is like a very common thing with all of us, but talking about 2002, 2003, computers was not a normal thing. Like we did not even have smartphones. We did not even have feature phones for that fact. So in that time, if you had access to a computer or internet, it was like actually a big thing. So some of my friends just got me introduced to computers, or the internet in a cyber cafe, and that's when I started my journey. The moment I got my first computer, I started coding. I started making programs, and those were the times when there were these flash games. Like the games and programs were not as complicated as they are today, because we have very productive, very powerful machines which can create bigger programs, which can create bigger games. So I started making games. I started making these small programs, and that's when like I basically thought, like, how do I go forward with it? I did not have an internet connection, so whatever I could just build, whatever I could create was simply just in the reach of mine. Like I could not show it to the world. That's when I got introduced to a few platforms which are freelancing platforms, where I could work for different people, where I could sort of just give them, work for other people, earn some money. And that's when I got my first assignment at the age of 11, while I was still in sixth standard. And like that was my beginning. That was the time which obviously gave me my first money, and that was like there was no looking back from it. So once I was in eighth or ninth standard, someone just told me that if you want to do anything in IT, if you want to do anything in computer science, you should go to Bangalore. Until that time, like Bangalore used to be something which was out of my reach, because obviously most of my time was spent in Rajasthan. I had been to a couple more places because my dad was in army, so I had stayed with at a couple more places with him. But still, like Bangalore was, you have different language, you have different food, you have different people, so it was completely different. And obviously, like it was never thought about. But again, it took me almost a year and a half to convince my parents. But finally, I convinced them. I went to Bangalore all alone after my 10th standard. There I took admission, and once I was in Bangalore, I got to meet a lot of people who were already having their businesses. I got to meet a lot of people who were doing something, who were studying in IIMs, who had studied in IITs, or who were starting their startups. So that's when I started my first company while still being in school. And in 12th standard, another thing, like I don't want to discourage, or I don't want to change any perception when I say I am a high school dropout. But the only thing I was doing was I was following my own passion. I was following like what I really wanted to do, and I was just taking my own decisions and sticking very much with it. And I'll come to that later, like why is it important to take your decisions and then stick with that, be confident in your decisions. So while I was in 12th standard, as I said, like I belong to a very traditional family, so my family was all about completing studies. And the moment I had gone to Bangalore, even I wanted to become a software engineer, because that was, that's pretty much what a middle class boy could just dream of. But when I was there, I was like, okay, there are so many other things. So while I was in 12th standard, I topped the International Cyber Olympiad. Yes, Dev, I'll come to that. Great. Yeah, if you can maybe, whatever questions that you have, if you can just keep sending in the chat. And once I'm done with my journey, I'll just take up all of that. So you can simply just keep sending the questions in chat box. So now coming back to it. So in my 12th standard, I had topped International Cyber Olympiad. And on based of that, I got admission in Virginia Tech University, which is one of the top five technology universities in US. But then pretty much like, what my mind was that if I'll be spending 4 years of my life doing engineering, and even after that I'll work pretty much just like how I'm working already. So I found no sense in sort of spending those 4 years doing engineering. I dropped out of my high school, and then I started a company. The first ever company I started was in software development, which was a service-based company. So we just used to work for people, whatever they wanted us to build, whatever they wanted us to create, we would simply create that. And after that, I was a little bit more into that. And that's when I started with another company, which was a PR and digital marketing company, because digital marketing was just was beginning in that time. So a lot of people were not really aware of it. Companies did need it, and there were not a lot of companies who were providing these digital marketing services. So somewhere around 2015, that's when my first interaction with the city of Chandigarh happened. So the government, there is a organization in Chandigarh which is SACC, Startup Accelerator for Chamber of Commerce, and they were doing a lot of programs for the colleges in Haryana and Punjab. So they were based out. They are still based out in Chandigarh, and I think Sector 75, which is the IT zone. So that's when I got to Chandigarh for the first time. I did a lot of programs with the government of Haryana and Punjab. I went to a lot of these colleges which are in these cities, and we did a program for startups. We did a program for the students who are in the rural parts or in the tier 2, tier 3 cities. And a lot of these colleges do not have any facilities. But again, as I said, like India is full of talents. India is full of prospective people who have the potential to change the world. And that's when me along with the team of SACC, we went to a lot of these colleges. And that's when I was also like followed by the government of Rajasthan, and they wanted me to come back to Rajasthan and work for it. And that's when I sold my second company, came back to Rajasthan, started with a community called Jaipur Startups. And along with that, I started an NGO called Empowering Rajasthan. So Empowering Rajasthan is an NGO where we go to the rural places in Rajasthan, and all these housewives, all these students who are studying in these rural colleges, so we help them take the entrepreneurial route. We help them become entrepreneurs. Even we create self-help groups and anything which, because there are actually a lot of programs there are actually a lot of schemes which are started by the government, but they never reach to the people who actually need them. So we actually make those schemes accessible to these people. We are not charging them anything. We are not paying them anything. It is just, we are just a link between the government and these people. And till now, I think we have enabled more than 1,000 startups, more than 100 self-help groups in these villages, and things are looking pretty good. So apart from that, the last thing that I did, in 2017, I started with a media company, which is the Indian Wire. And as I said, like since the time I was 12 years of age, I always had this thing in my mind that I would retire before 25. That's another, like, the fascination that you have. And I always wanted to just work on my own decisions. So earlier this year in January, I closed my office, and the first thing was that I would travel for 6 7 months, and then I would just take admission into a college. But as you, like, all of us know that Corona basically spoiled a lot of my plans, and I could not really travel a lot. But the other dream that I had for this year to get admission to a college, so I did write an exam, which is LSAT, which is for the law schools, the private law schools, and I got accepted into the Jindal University, which is just near Delhi in Sonipat. So currently, I'm a law student, and for 3 years, I think I should be reading law if I don't drop out again. But now, yeah, that's my story. It's like I also, in that whole process, I have been very, very actively involved in the student community. I love interacting with students whenever there is a chance. I never say no to that. So I've been to a lot of colleges. I have been to a lot of schools, and like obviously interacting with students and then helping them take better decisions, making them realize that this is our time. Whatever we want to do, like this, there is nothing that we cannot do. A lot of times we just think that there are the kind of resources that we have, there are the kind of opportunities that we have are very, very limited, and we just cannot do anything. So I just try to make them realize that there is nothing in this world that we cannot do. It just needs like your own determination and the confidence that you need to have on yourself. So this is it. And apart from that, like another thing, like there are a couple of things which I really want to tell from my own journey. How important it is to be confident, how important it is to actually be self-determined. Because when I left my studies in 12th standard, so that was a time when actually a lot of people, a lot of my relatives, a lot of my friends, a lot of people around, all of them were like, you won't be able to do anything in your life. And that was the time which I only had one thing to do. I only had to prove them wrong. And that's what, like, those are the things, the moment people start criticizing us, a lot of us just keep losing our confidence. And that's something which I keep telling a lot of people, that, and that is something which I'll also tell you, that whenever people, all of them are against you, like people are just, they're criticizing you one day, and then they will stop criticizing the other day once do something better. And I think just yesterday or day before yesterday, I was just reading news about someone. I was reading news about some of the cricketers because IPL is going on, and that guy said that if you perform well in today's match, people. Sorry, if you don't perform well in today's match, people will criticize you, and in the next day's match, if you perform well, they'll just start praising you. So that's what a lot of us actually get demotivated by it. A lot of us just get demotivated just thinking that what other people would be thinking. So uh, that's it. I mean, it's all about the only thing which you can do, the only thing which you can. Exactly, yeah, Mohammad Siraz. Sukhjinder, thank you for that. Thank you for that tip. Yeah, so he was saying the same thing in an interview with the RCB. So that's the whole thing. So you have to be confident. You have to be determined. Whatever you have to do, just make sure whatever resources which are available to you, give you 100%. A lot of times, what we do is we always have backup options. We have कि ठीक है, मुझे ये करना है, ये नहीं होगा तो मैं ये कर लूंगा, ये नहीं होगा तो मैं ये कर लूंगा. तीन चीज. So your energy gets divided. The moment you want to do something, the moment you think of doing something, just make sure that 100% of your efforts are going into that. Just make sure that no matter what happens, that there is no option of failure. And if you think that way, then you will be able to give 100% in that. And I actually keep interacting with a lot of parents. Keep interacting with a lot of students, and that's the exact same thing that they have. कि हाँ 10th के बाद ये करना है, ये नहीं हुआ तो ये कर लूँगा, ये नहीं हुआ तो ये कर लूँगा. So आपकी खुद की energy gets divided into 5 different things. So that's one thing which I never had when I dropped out of my 12th. I knew that if I say no, or if I just fail in my business, there are people who will start criticizing me. They'll say कि हाँ पहले तो तेरे को बड़ी school छोड़ना था. So I just had that one option. I just had कि no matter what happens, I have to be successful in whatever I'm doing. I gave my 100%. One company got successful. I sold it, started another company. So that has been my mantra. That has been my focus. That has been like my main point that I keep sharing it. And I think, yeah, I won't keep talking a lot about myself. Coming back to your questions, if there is anyone who want to ask me questions, I have one from Dev. Can minors do business? So Dev, the only thing which is stopping you is obviously India is still not a country which actually supports a lot of this. So when I started, you can actually start a business, but you will need supervision of someone adult. You might not really be able to have an account all on yourself, but you can always open a joint account with your parents, and you can always have like you can do a business, but you need to have supervision. You need to have nominees, or you need to have someone else who has to be the co-signee or co-applicant with whatever you're doing. But you can certainly do business. There is nothing which is stopping you. There are two brothers from Chennai. I think they have a company, and just a couple of years ago, 3 4 years ago, they were announced the youngest CEOs, youngest owners of company. Uh, there are those who are just 8 or 10 years of age. So yes, if you think that only being a minor is stopping you from doing a business, then please don't consider that as a drawback. Don't consider that as a negative point. Just go ahead and start something, whatever you want to start. Is it better to have internship? Exactly. So when we are students, we do have a lot of free time, and a lot of us do waste it, just simply doing nothing. But it is always good, because whenever you're studying, as I said, like, you will never get this much time again. You just have your college for 6 7 hours. You have another assignments, whatever you're doing, for maybe 1 to 3 hours. And but after that, you can always, because once you are out of college, once you are out of your degree, people start expecting some things from you, and that unnecessary pressure, even though people are not telling you anything, that is a pressure which we actually start feeling. Yeah, our friends are starting to work, our friends are starting to maybe start their business or work in some company, and that's when the unnecessary pressure builds up, and a lot of people do not even know like what they have to do in your life, in their life. So whenever you're in studies, whenever you are starting, whenever you are studying, you get 3 or 4 years. If you're doing engineering, or if you're thinking of your masters, you get 5 years. So in that, maybe it's always a good thing to do internship. It's always a good thing to do internship in different fields. Let's say there are internships which are maximum of 3 to 6 months. So in your 3 years of time, even if you consider an internship of 6 months, you get at least six different interns. You can actually do six different internships. So once you do that internship, you actually get to follow, you actually get to realize that what exactly happens in the corporate world, and that gives you a little bit more uh, that actually gives you a little bit more time. That actually gives you a little bit more time to decide what you really want to do, or something that you do not want to do. Let's say you do an internship which you think you would enjoy, but then after getting into that internship, you think, okay, this is not my cup of tea. So it helps you in both the cases. It helps you tell that, okay, this is something that you can do, and this is something you cannot do. So certainly, getting an internship, no matter what, it does help you with your studies. Thank you for asking this question, Baljit. But this year, how can we get better opportunity? So this year, everything is virtual. Like that's actually what I keep saying. That every single year, this year, I think I don't know how many of you actually follow the business news. I don't know how many of you follow the tech and IT news, but this year, India's IT export has been more than any other time, any other year. So a lot of these companies, work from home is something that has given amazing thing. A lot of people are actually considering virtual options. A lot of people are considering these virtual work profiles. So go onto these websites. There are websites like Internshala. There are websites, a lot of LinkedIn, and just search for people looking for internships, because even the employers who are looking for these people to join in, they are also looking for virtual options. So that is not really an excuse. It could have been an excuse in March or April or May, but today that we are sitting almost in November, this is not an excuse that how you can. Yes, jobs are less. So this is something that which is only not for this year, Baljit. This is going to be now for the entire year, and this is one thing that we will actually have to do away with. This is something we will have to face, that the jobs are going to be less and less because of all the automation, because of all the technology which is coming in. Even if there was no corona, even if there was no COVID, in 2 or 3 years of time, as like a lot of people have been saying, that automation, machine learning, and machines which are coming into these factories and companies, which are actually reducing a lot of jobs. So the first thing is competition is very high, exactly like Parth said, and competition is going to be high. You cannot just simply say कि हाँ competition high है इसलिए मैं घर में बैठूंगा, मेरे लिए तो job ही नहीं है. You have to fight with these people. You have to be, and that's when I say, like, that's when a lot of people have been saying कि in next 5 years, 50%, top 50% people will get jobs, and the other 50% will not get jobs. So that's exactly what Baljit was asking, and that's exactly why I say, like, when you are studying, when you are in your college, it's always better to actually get done with internships, to actually explore a few things, even if you are not getting paid. even if you are just getting work experience and people are just using you for their own work, and so you are still getting some sort of work experience. By the time you get out of your degree, try to be in the first half, try to be in the top 50% and not in the other 50%. Get started with one talent. That talent can be anything. Talent can be your studies, the talent can be any other extracurricular activities. So it could be anything, and it could be but always like keep working on building yourself, keep building on being a better version of yourself by the time you get out of your uh, degree. Tushar is, I want to know how we can explore new business opportunities. I told earlier that you started this marketing company. So how do you come to know? Okay. So Tushar, you never know that this opportunity is going to flourish in the coming year. The only thing that you do, and the only thing about starting a business or about starting a startup is that what is the problem that you're solving? I've seen a lot of people who actually just started with let's say they faced a problem at their house, or maybe they faced some problem near around them. They started building on that because they knew that this problem could be big. Uh, so you have to look around you. You have to look, maybe these days artificial intelligence or machine learning are big things. How you can maybe save time for people. Like all these companies, all these things which have been working for all these years, people were only had one thing, that how are they solving the problem which are around them, how are whatever that they're building, how is it helping people. The more common problem it is, the more common problem you are solving, the bigger your business will be. So that's like, I cannot really answer you because I don't know what your expertise are. I don't know how your thought process is. So I cannot simply just tell you that this is business idea that will work for you. You have to figure it out. What are the opportunities which are around you? What do you think you'll be most comfortable working on for your uh, business, and what are the things that you can actually do, and what is the thing that you can actually spend your 5 to 7 years or your lifetime working on. So these are the things that you will need to figure out, Tushar, and I wish you best of luck for that. Parth, e-commerce is must for business. I have no clue what you mean with that. Maybe if you can just elaborate your question a little bit. Dave, what is my plan after LLB? Well, I don't make so uh, I don't know. I mean, I just got into LLB. Let's see once I'm done with that. And can we work as a fresher in any CA or law firm? I hope that is what you are asking, Karan. You can certainly work in that. You can certainly work under a CA or a lawyer. Like even I think I'll be applying for internships for the first ever time in my life. But yes, you can certainly work under them. As I said, like at a lot of times you might not be paid. At a lot of times you might just be used by those companies. But it is always have that intention that you are there to learn. You are not there to earn. First. Once you actually get to know something, once you are actually a better version of yourself, you can always earn money with that talent. Without online advertisement, businesses cannot run easily. Parth, that's not really a reality. Like I don't know. So there is a newspaper which is Dainik Bhaskar. I don't know how many of you are aware of it. It's a Hindi newspaper, and I've been following that for many years now. And they have started a new series called Today's Positive News. And in that Today's Positive News, every day they are actually sharing an example. Every single day they are sharing a story of an entrepreneur who started without any resources, who started in like the worst of circumstances, who started with like literally nothing, and they actually did pretty good with their thing. So I would really want you to maybe just go and check that Dainik Bhaskar series, Today's Positive News, and you will actually see, because they actually started it I think just a couple of months ago in this lockdown, that how, so they certainly just want to motivate people who think that they cannot do anything because of this lockdown, who think they cannot do because of this COVID. So this whole positive Today's Positive News initiative by Dainik Bhaskar, I think that, you should just check it out, and you'll actually get a lot of ideas. You will get a lot of these things, that how did people without any resources, they started companies and they became big. And all of these people are people just like us. Many of them are students. Many of them are, people who lost their jobs. Many of them are. So I think the today's story that Dainik Bhaskar has shared is of a 79-year-old old man who started with chai masala, I guess, if I'm getting it right. I just read it in today morning. So all of these things like entrepreneurship, businesses, startups is all about uh, entrepreneurship is all about making use of the resources that you have, making use of the resources that you already have. And that's why people are, those people are called management guys. you need to know how to manage the resources that you already have. You cannot just simply just keep cringing. You cannot just simply keep complaining ki, haan, this is not what I have. People who do not complain, they get successful, right? And the successful people are just less than 5 or 10% in this world. So stop complaining, looking at things which are around you, look at things which you think can turn into these resources for you. So, and as I said, like really check that out, check that series out. Hardeep, how you can build confidence in yourself to be in entrepreneurship? Like confidence is something which, as I said, like I cannot really teach you do that. Maybe start with another thing. Like in entrepreneurship, what we do is we always set our goals very very high. We always think, okay, in 2 years or 5 years I have to be, or maybe not even years, we have to be $1 million company. We need to earn this much. We actually see one person who is around us who has done something good, ki this person is earning, let's say, 10 lakh rupees a month, I also have to earn 10 lakh rupees a month. So we just look at the outcome of a person, we look at the outcome of a company, or of a startup, and we do not really look at the kind of journey that they have had, the kind of struggles that they have had. So you cannot just think of whatever that in I have to earn this much or I have to build this big company. You have to look for these smaller steps. You have to cut down your whole dream into smaller thing, that in next 5 months or next 6 months I have to do this. After that, in next 6 months I have to do this. So once you do that, then you will actually feel more confident, because then your goals will not be that big. I mean, obviously you are having a bigger goal for next 5 years or 10 years, but start working on the goals that you have just for a month. Start working on the goals which you have just for 6 months. Pretty much just like in your studies. If you think right on day one, you do not study the whole 3 years of syllabus, right? You study like the first semester, first mid sems, then you have the end sems, then you have the second mid sems, then you have the second end sems. So keep your life just like that. Keep your life just like, this is how I have to live. These are my short term goals and these are my long term goals. Be very very specific on all of that, but do not really focus on your long term goals, because if you continue to achieve all your short term goals, the long term goal will, obviously you will get it. Like if you clear all your semester exams, you will obviously get the degree, but if you do not clear your semester exams, you will not get the degree. So life is as simple as that. Life is as complicated or as simple as we make it out to be. So change your perception towards your life. Do not change your perception towards others lives, or the whole world is in general. And I hope that answers your question, Hardeep. Tushar, can we really start with zero resources? You can certainly start with zero resources. For sure, there are some sort of businesses which you cannot start with zero resources, where you need a lot of things. But more than the resources, more than the money, more than manpower, the thing you need is the willpower, and that is the main thing that you will always need for that. Karan, how you can communicate with others confidence? As I always been nervous. Yeah. So till my ninth standard, I think even I was nervous. And there was one thing which changed. One of my class teachers in my ninth standard, he pushed me on the stage, and he was like, "You have to say that word of thanks. We do have word of thanks in all the ceremonies, right?" And that was, I think, my first ever time that I spoke on a stage. And he knew that somehow he could see that talent, that I had that sort of public speaking talent. He kept on pushing me. But the thing is, as I said, like look at smaller things. Look at you do not have to just go out on the stage if you think that you are very nervous speaking in front of 100 people. Maybe just start with in front of your friends or family members. Maybe start on online. Get into these groups where people actually discuss about it. Start with smaller things. Look at the things which are actually affecting you. That these are the things which are my challenge points. Work on that. As I said, keep do not keep your public speaking in front of 100 people as your end goal. Maybe start with something smaller. Ki I stammer, or maybe my language skills are not good, or maybe I cannot speak so loudly. So have your write down your main issues that you have while speaking, and if you have those 5-10 issues, start working on them, as I said, and you will certainly find success in that. uh, Ankit, is network marketing better option for future generation while starting business? Should we have any backup for future? As I said, once you start thinking about the backups, you will never be able to get successful in any of these things. Whenever you start something, be it a business, be it a studies, always think that you have to give your 100%. Always think that there is no other thing. Even if you get failed, you will get experience, right? We are not 50 or 60 years of age, and we don't have kids that we have to feed. We are simply just teenagers. We are simply just people, young adults. So we can actually afford to experiment with our life. So do not really think about the failure. Just think about what if you get successful. Just think about that kind of experience which you will get building your company. Network marketing is better future. Uh, I I'm not really a big fan of network marketing because I haven't really seen any of the big companies survive for more than 5 or 7 years. Every single company starts with big things, and as I said, like this cannot be a career option which you can do for 10 years of your life or maybe 20 years of life. So I mean, I might be wrong. I'm not saying that in everything that I say I'm right, but this is my own personal experience. I have seen a lot of people around me getting started, getting done with that network marketing, and most of them have not had good experiences with that. Ritik, my digital marketing company. So when I started digital marketing used to be very, very different as it is today. As I said, like I started this company in 2013 when a lot of people were not really ready to spend anything on digital marketing. That was the time when a lot of people did not consider digital marketing as something which could actually affect their business or which could maybe support their business. So today things have changed. So I don't really think it will be relevant for me to actually give my own experiences because of obvious reasons. But as I said, like you just need to be a little bit more specific about what you're asking. So these are very broad questions. I might not really be able to answer that. Uh, Anyone else who has anything to add on this? Okay, Aman, why am I pursuing law? So I have actually, as I said, like I have been working, I have been interacting with a lot of people. I have been interacting with a lot of people who are into the rural places who do not really get the kind of support, who do not really get the kind of things which governments maybe send them. So obviously, when I was doing this. I was running this NGO. I met a lot of people like this, and I wanted to help them. But because I did not have a lot of resources, because I did not know on what grounds I can help them, so I thought of pursuing law. And when I really thought of pursuing law, I didn't have a lot of resources. I was working full time, and that was it. That time, it wasn't really possible for me to pursue law. So that is the reason I want to get into social activism full time once I'm done with my degree. And I really want to help people who are at the grassroots level to actually help them getting their own rights. Because as I said, like law is something, law, constitution, human rights, like our rights, our duties, a lot of these things seem very, very good. They seem very classy when we study about them in our textbooks. But when you actually go onto the ground in these villages, when you actually go on ground about these things, this is a sensitive thing. I don't know how many of you will be comfortable, but there was a rape case in UP just a couple of, I think, a few weeks ago, and in that time we actually started knowing that untouchability and these caste system is still prevalent in India. How much it is actually in these villages. So even in those villages, a lot of these Dalits, a lot of people who are considered to be the lower caste people, still they do not have rights that they can maybe use a road which is for the whole village. Maybe they can take water from a well which is for the whole village. So these were the things which have always, affected me, and I always wanted to help these people. And that's like, before helping them, I really wanted to understand that what has actually been the reason that they are where they are today. So that is for the reason that I'm pursuing law, and hopefully I will be able to make a difference. So what about franchisee business is the best way of doing business without risk? Nikunj, are you taking a franchise or something, or are you giving franchises to people? Because these are two are different things. But even before franchisees, you need to make sure that you are building a viable product. You are building a product which is trusted by people. And franchisees could be great thing if you can just get a franchisee of McDonald's and just start it somewhere. It is a sure shot business. But when you are actually talking about franchisees, I'm not really sure if you have studied the business model or getting a franchise. Okay, I'm not really sure if you have studied the business model. A lot of these franchises take 30 to 50% of the profit that you're making. So even if you are earning, like if you are investing your own money, and if you are let's say earning a lakh rupees per month, 30 to 50,000 rupees will be taken by that owner of that franchisee just because you are using their name. So it is not always as lucrative as it looks from outside. You But again, as I said, like you might just be talking about something else, and franchisee is a very safe business, but you do not have a lot in your control. You cannot do a lot of experiments. You cannot really do a lot of modifications. You have to follow the kind of strategy that the company tells you. You have to follow the kind of marketing tactics that the company tells you. So it is not really a business. It's I mean, it is a business. It might not be a startup or something. So it's a very safe thing. But as I said, like you should really be able to understand the company business model, that whatever the company is saying. So, what do I want to change my work, my impact on the society of the coming years in the decade? So, I'm not really talking about my impact on the society. Obviously, like I want to do my 100%, and however it happens, whatever it happens, it will be, it will be a thing to be seen. So, for now, I'm just trying my best to actually do what I enjoy best. As I said, like since my teenage years, I have just been trying to do what I enjoy doing, and I have been just trying to do what I thought could be good for me. I have like been into multiple businesses. I have been into different things, and all I'm doing is simply just that whatever I think that the kind of ideas that I have, the kind of uh, things that I have. Okay, and query from a YouTube live participant: if anyone focuses on business as a part-time work, is it good? Certainly. Like again, there are businesses which really give you a lot of which actually need a lot of time from you. There are businesses which might not need a lot of time for you, and I know a lot of people who have actually started businesses while working full time or studying full time. So it just depends on the kind of idea. It just depends on the kind of sector you're working in. If it doesn't really need a lot of people, you even might have seen a lot of people doing like 4 or 5 different businesses or 10 different businesses. So it's for them, it's just like a part-time commitment. So it's nothing like if you are um, you cannot do a business as a part-time work. It just depends on, as I said, like it depends on different businesses to businesses. You cannot really put all the businesses in one single net. How do I manage my finances? I mean, this is something which I think I'm very, very bad at. But like a lot of Indians, because we come from those middle class families, I think our basics about finances are strong. Or we actually know the value of money. So that's something that has stuck with me forever. That is something that I have always had in me. That the value of money I do not simply just spend on things which are not needed. And I won't really be the best person to give you this answer because, as I said, like I sort of struggle to manage my finances at times. But again, that's what life is. We always keep learning from this. Like the way I manage my finances maybe 5 years before is not the same way I do today, and it won't be the same way as I do in 5 years down the line. So again, as I said, like if there is anything specific, Aman, if you want to ask, so you can uh, ask. But for this broad question, I think this is all I could say. That till when do we have time? If there is anyone who can tell me this, and how many more questions am I allowed to take after this? Yep, if there's any more question, if there is anything else, if there is any feedback that you people want to give to me, if there is anything that you think I should improve. Dave, I never wanted to go for civil services, but as I said, like my dad is in army, I wanted to go to army, and was one thing which I sort of had a dream. But as I said, like I have been someone who is not so disciplined. Like I haven't been into a business for more than 2 3 years. I haven't done anything which is like according to the rule books and according to a simple societal, guy. I haven't really been. So civil services does need a lot of dedication. It does need a lot of studies, and certainly like I have not been the best of the guys in studies. I have not been the best of the person to be dedicated to something for more than a few years. So I think that was one of the reasons why I did not even consider going to civil services, because I have seen like how much people study, how I know how much dedication it needs to actually even qualify for the civil services pre-examination. So maybe I was just not made for that. I hope that answers your question, Dev.
Any other question you can ask? I think no more questions. No questions. Thank you, sir, for nice and worthy talk.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ashu, you can continue. Ashu?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
A very good afternoon to all. Today we have Today we have organized a webinar on the behalf of Innovation Cell of My voice is echoing. Ma'am, I'm audible.
Sir, please, can you mute your phone? Okay, now you can continue, Ashu.
Okay, ma'am. A very good afternoon to all. Today we have organized a webinar on the behalf of Innovation Cell of Shri Guru Gobind Singh College. I take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this seminar on nurturing the habit of entrepreneurship among youth by our institute. At the outset, I thank our chief guest and resource person, Mr. Prithvi Singh Chauhan. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. I would like to thank our principal for his enthusiastic support. A special thanks to organizing committee, teaching and non-teaching staff for their unflinching support and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to our students for active participation. With these warm words and a kind message, we move to the end for today's webinar. Thank you.
Okay, I would like to thank our chief guest, Mr. Kuwa Prithvi Singh Chauhan. We would like to see you in future also. It was really very worthy and kind on the part of you to attend this webinar. So thank you, sir. Anything else you want to say to our students?
No, ma'am, I think I really enjoyed the kind of discussion, and a lot of people which I know might just feel shy in interacting with, in front of a lot of students or in front of a lot of people. So, if anyone who is there who wants to connect with me on social media, if you think that's a good thing to do, I can just share my Insta username, and people can directly reach out to me. And if they have anything to uh, ask me, or if they have anything to discuss, I'll be more than happy to discuss it with them.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you. Thank you, participants, to attend this webinar. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, everyone. It was really nice meeting all of you, and hope to see you soon again. And very good luck for whatever you guys are doing. And I know these are tough, challenging times. So, yeah, just keep working on yourself, and I hope to see you, all of you, again very, very soon. Thank you very much for having me today. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.